Hello everybody. Today we're talking about the US M5 gas mask. Now this mask was loaned to me by my buddy in Slovakia. His name's Samuel. Everyone say thank you, Samuel. Now this mask is an early version of the US M9. It was used on the D-Day invasion. I don't have the exact model of this mask because that depends on what you get with the kit. So we're calling it M5 and this is all I have. I only have the mask. I don't have any kit, sadly. Now, the similarities with this model and the M9 are very similar if you can't tell already, and this is also a modified M4 face piece. You can see right at the bottom here we have a rubber plug at the bottom. Now, this mask is an earlier model of the M9, or the M9 was inspired by this. This mask has very similar lenses to the M9, the 60mm filter port. Instead of the big nose, however, we got this long Tissot tube because this is basically just a converted M4 gas mask. On the back of the mask, we have a 6-point head harness that you may be able to see here with a lock on the back. On the front, we have our exhale valve that actually has fairly good voice projection, especially for something that doesn't have a membrane diaphragm like most masks do today. This was a very revolutionary design for the US military, as most gas masks of the time either had a canister that came directly out the front or a hose that went into a bag on your side. Now this makes it significantly harder to lay down on the ground and still be able to use your gas mask, or really shoulder any sort of rifle without causing some minor issues at the very least. Now, the gray versions of these masks, made pre-1943, are a little bit different from this one, as the Japanese control of natural rubber forced the US military to make their masks out of neoprene. Now, this is what this is made out of. I will say, it's sticking to my face. It kind of hurt. It's not necessarily my favorite composition I've had in a mask. I really like the butyl that MSA uses. I know that's a controversial opinion. I really don't mind it. The latex of the Soviet Union, pretty alright, even though that is a natural rubber. Some of these masks were also manufactured with left-hand variants. Now, with the mask in my hands, we're going to talk about pretty much everything we looked at in the video and look at some of the markings on here. We have the 60mm filter port. We have M9 shaped lenses. Not sure if these are the same size as the M9. On the back here, we have our 6-point cloth head harness. By far, some of the best condition I've seen. This is still stretchy, a lot better than my first M9 that I got. We have some markings here where it says BFG, I believe, and then I can't really read down below there. We have the manufacturer markings. 1944 was when this mask was made. Up front, we have this plug that I had talked about earlier. We have the exhale valve, which is just a very simple disc exhale valve. These had a lot of issues in lower temperatures. Along with the rubber of this mask, it would get very stiff and hard, and you wouldn't be able to actually wear it if it was in below freezing temperatures, or at least near below freezing temperatures. We have the lock on the back. This helps secure the mask to your face a lot better than just the normal 6-point head harness would do. This was kind of phased out after the M9, at least to my knowledge. On the inside, we have no oral nasal cup, which does lead to quite a bit of fogging on the lenses, especially because this Tissot system is very subpar compared to the later version of this mask. Up here, we have the size. This is an earlier mask, so it just says US Universal. They did have some issues with universal production sizes being slightly smaller or slightly larger than their standard size. So in some of the later versions of these masks, they will say US Universal Small or Universal Large. Anyways, that's what I've got for this video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all the wonderful good things that the algorithm loves. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. Asbestos.